Having an aesthetic physique, is it something you're born with? Is it something you just stumble upon? Or is it something that you can work towards? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain the secrets that can build your body in a way that looks aesthetically pleasing. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Pardon the music and stuff. Just got hit with some inspiration here at the gym. So I've gotten a message. Someone was like, yo, I see some people, they got like you, for example, Alec, you got broad chest, tapered waist. Is that something that you just had, or or am I able to train towards that? And I believe you 100% can train towards that. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Alec, exercise scientist. Started off as a fat, chubby kid, got some good shape, and just sharing my tips with you guys. So I'm literally in the middle of working out, got this message. I was like, let me take a moment to explain how the ways that you can go towards building the body of your own dreams. So a lot of people, they start off with different body types. There's on the internet this thing that was very popular for a while of like ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. It's basically like these pretty generic body types. And the thing on the internet was like, oh, if you're a certain body type, you gotta train so what? Kind of more bro science stuff there. I don't really subscribe to that way of thinking. However, there are people who are genetically predisposed to starting off with a certain physique. Now, for me, I had kind of like the pear body shape, thin towards the top, had a wider waist, kind of thick thighs going on. But now it's like the V-shaped thing going on, but that's because I was very intentional with how I was going to build towards that. And Duke did the same exact thing as well. I like to think of it like how like Greek sculptors, they'd start off with this big block of marble, and they'd look at it, they're examining the marble that they're working with, and then they would use that as inspiration to try to see what is trapped within it, what's locked inside of the marble. And then they're like, this part doesn't need to be there, we'll chip that off. This part doesn't need to be there, we'll chip that off. That spot will stay. And then they work towards these other areas. And it's a great analogy when it comes to burning fat, but it's also a great analogy when it comes to just starting, recognizing the physique that you're at and trying to pinpoint the areas that you're going to train. So right now in my training, I'm doing a lot of high intensity interval training, mainly lower body and core work. And for my upper body, I was like, you know what? I want my chest, my back worked a little more. I focus on working my chest, focus on working my back. This week alone, I've hit my chest and back 3 times, 3 separate chest and back days. A lot of people would be like, whoa, no, you can't do that. As long as you're not overtraining and you're able to recover between workout sessions, by all means, you can do that. In fact, if you only hit a certain muscle group, 10 sets of it, let's say you're doing chest, 5 sets of chest, it's not enough of a stimulus to have that muscle grow. Well, unless you're an absolute beginner and you've never trained before, sure, it'll grow. Once you got a little bit more experience, you got to do a minimum of at least 10 sets per particular muscle group just to maintain. And once you get towards more like the 15 sets to 20 sets, that's when it really starts stimulating it to grow. So by me hitting chest 3 times this week, each time I did 5 sets of it, which means I've done 15 sets of chest and back, which is really now it's like, okay, boom, it's growing. But the reason why I'm doing that is because I want these areas to grow. I'm looking at the other areas, I'm like, all right, this stuff's a little disproportionate. Right now, I just want these areas to get a little bit bigger. You can do the same exact thing with your own physique. Do you already have broad back, broad shoulders, and maybe you want to lay off doing lat pull downs and like wide bench press? Are your legs a little bit thinner? Don't train anything else for a while. Just focus on doing your quads. Focus on doing your calves. In fact, there's a funny thing that happened where someone came up and they were like, dude, you're just lucky. You got some good sized calves. I was like, lucky? No, I mean, I'm training these calves. And they're like, well, no, it's just that when you train your calves, they grow when you train it. Whenever I make calves, they just don't really grow like that. I was like, all right, well, what'd you do for your calf workout this week? They're like, well, yeah, I train them once a week. I'm like, all right, well, this week is coming to an end. I've trained calves 3 times this week. It's like, what? 3 times? So in the 1 week where I've trained calves 3 times, you've only trained it once. So I've done essentially a month's worth of training calves in 7 days, and your month is what I do in 1 week. So now wonder my calves are a little bit bigger. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's another thing. I wanted them to get bigger, which meant I just had to train them more. With that stuff in mind, you really want to try to build up your own physique. You got to start with like kind of examining where it's at. If you got thinner areas in certain spots, you might want to hit those areas a little bit more often than others. If you have different areas that kind of do develop more easily than others, maybe don't train those. Like my arms, I've done like biceps and triceps maybe 4 times in 2023. Yeah, like literally, I've only done a bicep tricep day like 4 times this year because they just, I don't know, they're already, I think they're fine right now. I'd rather focus more on shoulders and stuff. And when I do my chest and I do my back, I feel like these areas get hit pretty well. So I don't train those. And that could be the same for you. Maybe you already have a larger, well-developed chest. And then you don't need to hit chest, So keep that stuff in mind. Hope these tips were able to help you out. feel free to subscribe for some more stuff. And thanks for bearing with me with the audio and stuff like that. Just having to break this video out for you guys. Peace.